Hey everyone, it's Megan, and I'm back today to talk about the scale and why using the scale or using weight as a progress measure is not always my favorite way to have people track their progress. I think it's very common and normal for people to kind of have a goal weight that they want to hit, and they're really looking for that number on the scale to change to show them that they're moving towards their goals. But oftentimes the scale is really the last place that you will see those changes when in reality you might really be making great progress and just not necessarily seeing that number drop. Part of the reason is just that our weight is going to fluctuate naturally throughout the day, throughout the week, up and down quite a bit. So it can be sort of hard to get an accurate measurement, much less just depending on your scale and where it is and what kind of floor it's sitting on. You can get different readings. So just overall, a scale is not necessarily the most accurate measurement in the first place. I actually recently did an experiment with a brand new scale in one place on a solid flat ground, and I tried weighing myself several times throughout the day over a week, so many times every day for a whole week, and my weight would go up or down about 4 pounds in a given day, just kind of randomly throughout the day. It did not really seem to correlate with having just eaten something or not eaten something. So just as an example of how much fluctuation there can be even throughout a day. So if you're really only weighing yourself one time, maybe in a week or one time in a day, you don't really know where you might be sitting um, within that range. So it can just be sort of hard to use that as a very specific gauge. Um, the other thing is that there just are kind of better ways to start to measure progress right away that you might notice before you might see that scale number drop. So things like energy level. Maybe you're eating differently or exercising differently, and you're noticing a difference in your energy level. Maybe you're sleeping better. Maybe you're feeling more satisfied after your meals. You're not feeling hungry or having cravings. Things like that can be really good indicators that the changes you are making are working. Maybe your workouts feel better, you're recovering faster. Just all those little things. Mood might be better. Your clothes might be fitting better. You might notice more that inches are changing if you're doing measurements that way, even if the scale number is not changing. So there's just a lot of other ways that you can be tracking changes to know if you're on the right path before you might actually notice numbers on the scale changing. And again, they might just be fluctuating up and down. It doesn't necessarily mean I would say don't use the scale at all. I think using that as a bigger picture over time as a way to track can be helpful. So, maybe you're weighing yourself at one point once a week, kind of same time of day, same place for many, many weeks, and using that as, again, that sort of broader looking at the trend up and down, and not necessarily using that as an indicator of whether what you are doing is working. And with using those scale measurements over time, again, I like people to use that if they feel like they can use that measurement kind of without judgment or without it necessarily changing how they feel about what they've been doing, just using it really as information and feedback and being able to move on. If you find that using the scale is kind of triggering for you, so if you step on the scale and you don't get the number that you're looking for, and that maybe makes you feel badly or think that, okay, today I've got to exercise more or eat differently or something like that, that's a sign that maybe you want to take a break from the scale and just focus on other progress measures as well. So that's just sort of my take on maybe using the scale or not using the scale, or finding ways to use that along with other measures of progress, not necessarily relying on that number specifically as your way of knowing whether what you're doing is working. Um, that's my thought for today. If you guys have any questions that I might be able to answer, send me an email anytime. I'd love to answer your questions here. I'll talk to you guys soon.